Hello, this is Katie with Coffee Talk, the show you want to watch when you take a break. Last time we had a viewer ask for crafts on our show. Basically, this is just a 10 or 15 minute show in order to give you time as just to take a break and relax and get your mind off of the serious weighty things and just take a moment to renew yourself, right? So today we're going to do a craft, and what we're going to do is we're going to paint this little rock. So I feel like people just don't have more than 10 to 15 minutes to take a break. So we're going to do this the very, on Pinterest they have all these really great ways of painting rocks, and usually they put a sealant on first and then they paint the rock and then they put a sealant on the top. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to paint on the rock because I've got 10 minutes, right? Or at least we hope so by the end of this video. Anyway, so while I'm doing this, I'll tell you what I've got here, and then I'll just talk through it, right? And we'll just have a good time. So what I've got here, and this is what I had on hand, is acrylic paints. I've got black and I've got red because I'm going to do a ladybug. And I could have put newspaper down, but instead I have some paper towels. And I could have had a palette, but instead I have paper plates. This is a wet paper towel. You could use an old rag that's wet, and then of course I've got my water for my paintbrushes, and I have some paintbrushes here. And I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and stir these a little bit. It's been a long time since they've been used, and I kind of like the idea that there's only going to be 2 colors, because not everybody can go to the store and buy a whole palette of 18 or 50 colors or whatever, and some people do and some people don't, right? So I figured that we'd keep it simple. Now I'm going to say something that I don't like to say because you start doing math and then it makes me scared, but 40 years ago I painted a rock, and it still exists. It's still painted. I did not put sealant on it in the bottom or on the top, but it was used as a paperweight, and it's just as good now as it was before. I think, quite honestly, if I remember right, I might have put hairspray on it when I finished. And I did it with watercolors. That is old paint. I think this is the end of this guy's journey. We're just gonna put that right there. Anyway, I did it with watercolors, believe it or not, and it's just fine. So if you want to paint a rock this break time, go get a rock. And I washed it. One of the things that I like about doing a ladybug is that it's not too complicated, and I can do it rather quickly, right? So I don't have to, I'm one of those people that I like to do art slowly, and this is one of those things you can do quickly, and it works well too if you have children. The other thing is that I like about this craft is that if you are a homeschool parent and you need a break, this is good for you to do, but also your children can do it. So if you are in a situation where your children will not entertain themselves, or you for some reason don't want them to, then this is another alternative for you. getting the bottom of it really red too. It's sliding around on the plate. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I think that I have 3 or 4 videos, and I try to tell you a little bit about myself so that you know me a little bit better. I am a farm girl, not a professional farm girl. Mom and Dad had a 5-acre farm, and we raised a plethora of different animals, sometimes not very many at a time. We started off with pigs, and then we sold the pigs and got, well, no, for a while we had pigs and sheep. And then after that we sold the pigs, and it was sheep. And then we had somewhere in there, I think after that or before that, we had a cow. And I learned how to milk a cow, and I can't remember now, but I learned how to churn butter. And what else did I do? Make ice cream, of course. Then after that, we started, when we had the pigs, we started with chickens. We had chickens all the way through until I moved out of the house. And when I moved out of the house, Mom and Dad decided that they wanted to try their hand with ducks. And ducks are just exotic to me, so I was like, really? And they had ducks for a while. Then they decided that the ducks were really messy. And they did, they still had the sheep, geese, and I didn't like the geese. I didn't like the geese. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I didn't like the geese because I didn't visit more than once a week, and so they viewed me as kind of a stranger. They're kind of like guard dogs. They would walk after me and hiss and try to like bite me. It was not good to come home to Mom and Dad and this happened. So anyway, eventually the geese went away. So that's my farm experience. I mean, my farm animal trail. Anyway. Uh-oh. Let's see. Well, that's fun. Let's put it that way. And that's why you have the rag, right? So I am a homeschool mom. And I've homeschooled 2 children. They went on to go to college. So I think that's I look at that as being a success. I also homeschooled myself from 7th grade on. When I was in 7th grade, Mom looked into homeschooling, and we were part of a pilot program in Washington State where I believe the state wanted to make sure that if you were a mom or a dad, that you could homeschool your kids and have them come out well. So I was part of that program. I want to say a year. Maybe it was more like 9 months. But then the pilot program passed. I'm from Washington State. And when the pilot program passed, then it was okay to homeschool. And I was really excited about it. And I had all these ideas. And so my mom just kind of let me go. She took me to the bookstore. There was something that we ordered that was that she found. And then I began homeschooling myself. So I made up the curriculum, and we tested every year, and I graduated. I actually graduated from a homeschool high school where my mom was the principal. So that's my experience with homeschooling. I went on to the local community college and graduated with honors from there. And then I spent a long time working in an office. All right, let's see how this is going here. Couple of dots, more than one dot. Oh, that's not a dot. All right. And this little guy's kind of wet, so I'm just going to leave him the way he is. I hope you enjoyed our little coffee talk, and I hope to see you again later. See you next time. Bye.